Okay, it's Monday, September 22nd, 2025. It is 2:05 in the afternoon, and we are now on the record. Mr. David Perkins, do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, everybody, Epi, ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can y'all hear me? Yes. Okay. All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for arranging this and making yourself available and being here. Chief Perkins, where are you right now? When I first came on, I thought maybe Epi had you in a jail cell, but I don't think that's the case.
We're pretty close to one.
Oh, what? I can't hear.
Oh, he says he couldn't hear the question, Steve.
I didn't hear your question. Looks like you're freezing up on me too.
Okay.
Yeah, you're definitely freezing up.
Okay, no problem. Um, where, ooh, that may be on, okay, you sure that's, am I freezing up on your end too?
Yes.
Ruby, am I freezing up for you?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, you're
Okay.
freezing.
All right, okay, I thought maybe, okay, let me try something different just a second.
Hey, Ms. Hall, uh, are you able to hear us okay? Are we freezing on our end, or we're okay?
No, I can hear you good. There's no freezing. It's a good connection.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear all of y'all fine too. It looks like it's on Steve's side.
Okay.
Steve, do you want to go off the record for a minute, or are you just going to keep doing you right now?
No, I just about got it.
You sound a lot better.
Yeah, I just connected with Wi-Fi, which is always a feat for me. How do I sound?
Oh, that's
You're
stronger.
good.
You're good.
Okay, good. All right. Mr. Perkins, Chief Perkins, good afternoon. My first question that you did not hear, hopefully you hear it this time, is where are you physically at the moment?
At the Aransas Pass Police Department at 600 West Cleveland, Aransas Pass, Texas,
Okay,
78336.
thank you, sir. And is there anyone else in the room there with you other than your most wonderful lawyer?
No, sir. He's the only person.
Okay. And it is my understanding that you are the chief, I think that's the right title, of the Aransas Pass Police Department. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how long have you been the chief of the Aransas Pass Police Department?
6 months and some change. So some days. So 6 months.
All right, sir. And how is your first 6 months going?
So far, so good.
Well, great.
Okay.
And where were you immediately before this position?
I was chief of police at the George West Police Department.
And how was it, Chief Perkins, that this job came available to you and you were selected to for this position?
So I was told that the position was going to be becoming available. It was posted on I believe it was TML that I saw it in. And so I put in my letter of intent, my resume, and went through the process.
Okay. And just briefly, what is that process?
The process was turning in an application, then of course the resume, and then going through an interview process, which was 2 interviews, I believe it was 2. Then I met with the city manager, and a conditional offer of employment was made.
All right, sir. And can you tell me who the 2 interviews were with?
Oh,
Was it a big group?
the first, if I'm not mistaken, and I know it's only been 6 months, but if I'm not mistaken, the first interview was a virtual interview,
Okay.
and that was with Mary Juarez, which is our city city manager here in Aransas Pass, Martha Perales, who at the time was the human resources,
Right.
and I believe it was Chief New York, the fire chief, was in that interview as well.
All right. And that was the first or the second?
I want to say it was this first one.
Okay. And so who was the other interview with?
With city manager and the human resources.
All right, sir. Let me ask you, in any of those interviews or at any time prior to you accepting this post, was I guess I will call it the Elisa Roberson matter. If anyone has a better suggestion, let me know. Was this case ever mentioned?
No, sir.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. So as best you remember, you were never briefed on this case
No,
prior.
I was briefed on another situation, which is Jason Followell, but not this one
Okay.
that I can
All right.
remember.
Okay. And when was it that you would have first learned about this case, Elisa Roberson?
When was the first time I've ever known about this case?
Yes, sir.
That was when I was the assistant chief of police here, back from 2013, I believe, until 2018 when I went to George West.
All right, sir. And who was the chief of police there in Aransas Pass during that time?
That was Eric Blanchard.
All right, sir. And where is Chief Blanchard working at this time?
He's with the Sinton Police Department.
As the chief of police?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how long, or from when to when in total was Chief Blanchard the chief of police of Aransas Pass?
I want to say he was the chief of police for approximately 12 years.
Okay. Was he chief of the police the entire time that you were assistant chief of police for Aransas Pass?
Yes, sir, he was.
So he hired you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And where was Chief Blanchard? Wait, let me get it. Where was Chief Blanchard prior to becoming chief of police of Aransas Pass? Do you know?
I want to think that, well, there were 2 places it could have been. It was either Portland PD or Sinton PD.
Okay. And where were you prior to becoming assistant chief of police of Aransas Pass?
I was with the Portland Police Department.
just briefly, where did you kind of grow up and attend school?
I grew up. Tulsa Midway is where I lived until I was in third grade. Then I went to Port Aransas and grew up in Port Aransas.
Okay. And what high school would you have graduated from and when?
Port Aransas High School,
Okay. And what year would that be?
1986.
All right, sir. And what was your formal education beyond 1986?
Beyond.
Yes, sir. Beyond high school.
What do I have right now? I have an associate's degree in criminal justice through Del Mar.
Okay.
An associate's. One's an associate of arts. One is a associate of science in criminal justice administration with Del Mar, and I've got a bachelor's degree through Tarleton State University for police administration. I'm sorry,
Okay.
criminal justice administration.
Okay. And if you know, did Chief Blanchard voluntarily resign from Port Aransas Police Department?
From the Aransas Pass Police Department?
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm sorry.
I believe he did.
Okay. Just generally, what would you say your involvement was with this matter during your years as Assistant Chief of Police of Aransas Pass Police Department, 2013 to 2018?
I had no direct involvement with this case.
Okay, all right. That eliminated a number of questions. You knew about it, but you had, as you said, no direct involvement.
No, sir, no direct involvement.
Who would you say, or who do you remember your years as Assistant Chief of Police? Who comes to mind as having the most involvement with this matter?
Captain Kyle Rhodes.
All right, sir. Anyone
And
else?
later on, after Kyle left, would be Frank Kent, who is presently the lead investigator on this, Captain Kent.
And I'm sorry, give me his name one more time. Captain.
Frank Kent, Kent.
And you would say what is he called? Lead investigator, lead detective?
He's actually the criminal investigations division captain. So he heads that division, and when Kyle left, he's the one that adopted that case.
Okay. And where did Kyle go?
Kyle retired.
Okay. You know, is he living in the area or have any idea or what he's doing?
I don't know what he's doing. I believe he does live in the area of Corpus, I believe is where he lives.
Okay.
I haven't talked to him since coming back.
Okay. And let's see. So Captain Kent took over as lead detective or investigator when Kyle retired.
Yes, sir.
What was that year again? You may have told me that
The
Kyle
year
retired.
I have no idea.
Okay.
It was before I came.
Okay. Okay.
Steve, it was 2024. It was in the fall of 2024, so about a year ago.
Okay. All right. Just so when would you have had some reason to get more detailed about the facts and the investigation into this case?
When Ruby Roberson or Ruby Hall, she sent me an email, and I don't know when that email was. And it had to have been after I started,
Okay.
because it was on my official police department email address.
Okay.
And that's when some questions were brought up about and I had to look back at what the actual questions were, but it was more of, I guess, the maybe the integrity of the facts of the investigation. I mean, I don't want to say it in a demeaning way, because I'm not trying to say it that way. I'm just trying to figure out the words that she was concerned that nothing had been done on the case for a while. I guess that would be the better way of saying that, and that she was looking for release of the information based on the case, and she was looking for some answers.
Okay, which is certainly, I'm not saying, well, certainly a reasonable request to be the sister of a sister who went missing over 35 years ago, and to kind of want to know what the heck is going on. Regardless of whether you can or can't, that's a fair request, is it not?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, and I don't think there's a human being alive that wouldn't understand the want and the need to know both what happened to a family member, and to understand where matters lie in investigation and trying to bring the matter to a resolution. That's fair, isn't it?
No, that's fair, but I think it's also have to take in consideration that walking into this position, there was a lawsuit that was filed,
Okay.
and that has to take some consideration on things as well.
Okay, fair enough. And I really wasn't directing that. I was just kind of in a general sense.
Yes, sir. And I just wanted to make sure that you understood, some of the reasoning why some things haven't been discussed on this
Okay.
case.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Well, let me understand. We'll get to what if I wasn't involved, or waived whatever, or well, maybe it comes. Well, do you have an understand that you are not able to talk about this case because Ms. Hall has filed a lawsuit?
When it comes to releasing information, depends on what information that is being requested. It was my understanding that Mrs. Hall requested that this case be given to a third party, independent party, which before I became the chief here, that was given to the Office of the Attorney General, and they are in possession of that case, reviewing everything at this point and doing their side of the investigation.
Okay, because you think they are an independent party?
Oh, they are. They're actually a third party. They're a whole new entity from the Aransas Police Department.
Okay.
A
First
whole
off,
new investigative entity.
okay. All right. So what do you understand the lawsuit is about, and what were the circumstances even leading up to Ms. Hall deciding that she was at a point where she just had to file a lawsuit?
I'm sorry. Say that again, please.
Yeah, what do you understand? Well, one, have you actually read what I will call the lawsuit, the petition, the 3, 4, 5, whatever number of pages that constitute the lawsuit, or the petition that has been filed on Ms. Hall's behalf?
No, sir. I don't believe I have read that. I just know that there was a lawsuit that was filed.
Okay. What?
And my understanding was it was for release of information.
Okay, pertaining to this case.
Yes, sir.
And you understand that pretty much, well, consistently, she's been denied information on her sister's case for 35, 36 years?
That's what she has told me. Yes, sir.
Okay, you don't have any knowledge to dispute that for 35, 36 years, she's been denied access or information to her sister's case, correct? That best you know that is the case.
That she has been denied? Is
Yes.
that what?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're gonna have to rephrase that question for me or say it again to make sure I'm understanding before I answer something that I'm not sure I'm understanding. Say it again, please.
Okay. Do you have an understanding like I do? Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me that she has been denied access or information to her sister's case for 35 years now.
It's my understanding that all the information we have on this case has probably not been released. I can't tell you how much she's had conversations with the first investigators from 35 years ago, what she has talked to Captain Rhodes about. And as far as Captain Kent, I do believe that he has talked to her one or two times, but I don't want to swear to that one. And
Okay.
then of course, I've talked to her.
Okay. All right. Well, let me kind of rephrase that.
Okay.
What file materials that I believe Ms. Hall has requested for some significant period of time has been released to her, to your knowledge?
To my knowledge, nothing has been released to her as far as paperwork or anything like that about this case.
Okay. And, you know, maybe times are changing, but always kind of thought in America, especially someone with a close connection to a case had the right, the privilege to access what I believe should be public documents. Is that kind of generally your belief too?
If it's an open investigation, there's some things that probably cannot be released or should not be released for the integrity of an investigation. Now, granted, I know you're saying it's been 36 years.
Yes, sir. That's true, right?
But it's still an open investigation, and that's being investigated by the Attorney General's office.
All right, sir. Well, let's talk about that. What in the hell constitutes an open investigation if after 36 years you haven't made any progress in towards resolving this case? What is still open about it?
What is open about it, sir, is that this case, whether it was dormant or whatever y'all are calling it here, the request was made to give it to an independent third-party investigative entity, and that third-party entity now has that, and they are reviewing it and looking into it and investigating it on their side as a cold case. So it's the Attorney General's cold case unit is who it is that has this case.
Well, all right, if you won't call it, if you really want to call it an open case, you call it a cold case. Can we call it a frozen solid case? Wouldn't that be more accurate, sir? Is that a professional police term, or after 35, 36 years, should we maybe come up with a new term? Would that be a good one to call this case after 36 years a frozen solid case?
It's an open case, sir, and you can call it what you want to call it, but it's an open investigation.
Okay, well, let's talk about that, sir. You said the only thing I heard you say that allows you to even pretend that this is an open case is because it's been sent to somebody in Austin to see if they can't pick up the ball that was dropped over 35 years with the Aransas Pass Police Department and try to make up something out of it and maybe make up for the mistakes or lack of effort or whatever. Isn't that true, sir? That's the only reason you can call it still an open investigation.
I think you're trying to put words in my mouth, sir. That's not that's
exactly, sir. Exactly. And I will continue doing that. And I have the legal right to do that. If you don't agree with something that I'm saying,
I'm telling you, I don't agree with what you're saying.
That's fine, sir, but let me finish and then you answer, okay? You tell me why you disagree with it. What I have heard thus far is the only reason that you can even pretend this is an open case is because it was sent to Austin for them to take a look at it after 35 years of not advancing the ball whatsoever in Aransas past, correct?
I can tell you this, sir. I wasn't here 35 years ago. I can't tell you what they did 35 years ago. I can tell you what's going on at this point in time. In the 6 months I've been here, the case is being looked at by the Attorney General's office. You're trying to make me answer something that happened 35 years ago, and I
No,
can't answer
sir.
that question, sir.
No, sir. I'm asking for your understanding, and if you see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, that's fine. But my question to you is, sir, do you know of any other reason to call this an open case other than the fact that it was sent to Austin?
Okay, I'll say yes. That's the reason is it's being looked at by another entity. Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any reason whatsoever to be able to label this an open case um, prior to it being sent to Austin, Texas? Which, by the way, do you know when that was?
That was before my time, sir. I do not know.
Okay.
I want to think that it was a month or two before I took over this department.
Okay. And might that be December of 2024?
I can't tell you the exact date, sir.
Okay. Well, I'm just.
I'm guessing it's December 2024 because you just told me it was December 2024.
Yes, sir. So let me rephrase. And again, at December 2024, do you remember the date that this tragic disappearance was reported?
Do I know the date?
Yes, sir.
It was 1980. You know, I know it was in the 80s. I can't tell you the exact date on it.
That's okay. August 6, 1989. So if that this file was sent to Austin December, if I'm right, December of 2024, someone could do the math, 89 minus 2024. I'm not very good at it. Yeah, that's 30, a little more than 35 years ago. Does that sound right to you, Chief?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. And do you know of can you articulate any reason, any fact, anything that says prior to that time, this was an open file?
And I'm trying again to understand exactly what you're saying. Are you asking, did I know any information that would suggest that this would be an open investigation prior to my arrival? Is that what you're asking, sir?
Well, let's do some building blocks. You testified, and I think you said the only reason that you can call this today an open file or an open investigation is because it was sent to Austin. I suggested, I think I'm right, pretty close, that was sent in December of 2024. All right, are you with me so far?
I'm with you on that.
Okay, so now I'm asking you, sir, do you know, was there any reason, any basis to call this an open file or an open investigation after 35 years before it was sent to Austin?
I'd have to say no to that, only because I don't know exactly what all they've done before it went to December 2024 up to the Attorney General's office.
Okay, I appreciate that, but you're, as best you know, sitting in the Aransas Pass Police Department office. You know of no basis to call this an open file or an open investigation prior to sending it to Austin, correct, sir?
No, sir, that's not correct. It's an open investigation.
Now it is. I get that. I'm asking you, sir, do you know of any basis to call it an open investigation prior to sending it to Austin?
It would be my understanding, and people can call it what they want, but if it has not been a solved case, then it's an open investigation.
Okay, so that's fine. So your definition of an open investigation is any unsolved case is an open case. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is any case that, and I guess you can go with several different definitions. I mean, if you have a case that you put as an inactive case, that can always be reopened as well as that. If there's any kind of investigative leads that come forward, then you can make it an inactive to an active case. Was this an inactive case before that? I can't tell you.
Okay. Well, okay. So let me maybe understand Ms. Hall's dilemma and or frustration. All right, sir, can I share it with you?
Sure.
Okay, so she is told, just like you, for a good part of this 35, 36 years, that Ms. Hall, this is an open case. And as long as it's open, we're not going to share much information with you, if any. We're not going to let you peek at the file. We're not going to let someone that she designates as independent to take a look at this until we get it resolved. And until it's closed, and it'll only be closed when it's resolved, and y'all have had 36 years to resolve it, and it's still open because it hasn't been resolved, and she doesn't get to see anything until you get it closed, which will never happen. And so it's an endless cycle. Do you understand that, sir?
No, I understand the frustration. Yes, sir.
Okay. And so part of what I want to do, and part of the reason she came to me, is to see if you and I and her attorney can't do something reasonable. I think you look like a reasonable person. I know your lawyer is. I know he's smart as heck. You appear to be. It just seems to me that reasonable people that are smart and creative and want to resolve a problem can usually get a problem resolved. Would you agree with that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And are you willing to work with me and Miss Hall and your wonderful attorney on something reasonable that the police can accept, that will get Ms. Hall some access to this file, or a designated independent criminal investigator, so she can have some satisfaction that, yes, I see the file, everything is being done, or hey, maybe we can do this. What about that? Do you understand where I'm coming from?
No, I do understand where you're coming from, but I don't think you're understanding where I'm coming from at this point. Is that we have an independent entity looking at this case. I'd like for them to have an opportunity to see if they see something that we haven't before we do that. Which
Well,
I can't tell you. Can I tell you? Can I speak real quick? Okay.
sure.
I have a meeting. Well, we have a Zoom meeting with the Attorney General's office Wednesday, where they're supposed to give us an update on this case, where they're at with that. And I'd like to have an opportunity to find out where they're at before we come to, okay, we're just going to open up these files and here you go. And that's not something that I would have to discuss this with the captain of CID, with the attorney. I'd have to talk to the DA's office to make sure that they're okay with us doing the same thing, because if we bring an independent investigation or investigator of Mrs. Hall's choosing, will the DA will follow up with the charges if there's ever charges that are discovered. So there's several things that have to be done before that can happen, sir.
Okay, so are you now suggesting that if an independent guy takes a look at this file under the right procedures, right safeguards, that might taint whatever the DA might do as far as some type of charges in the next 35 or 36 years? Is that really what you're suggesting, sir?
I am again. You're putting you're turning things that I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I need to speak to the DA's office to make sure they're okay with that.
Okay with what?
With us releasing information to a third party investigator.
Okay,
And that would be something that I think that any police chief would probably want to do, is speak to the entity that will be prosecuting the case if a case is made and charges were filed.
okay, so what, sorry, what DA do you intend to talk to and when?
I would have to see what the OAG comes up with on Wednesday and speak to them. And once again, I don't know what the OAG will do if we are entertaining. Hey, we want a third party, and I believe that the invitation was open to Miss Roberson, or I'm sorry, Mrs. Hall, to contact Mindy with the Attorney General's office to see if they would be open to having a third party investigator come in. That's my understanding. I don't know if that happened. That's my understanding.
Well, if that's the lady I've tried calling, she doesn't return phone calls. Do you have better success in getting her on the phone?
Do I? I haven't spoke to her. Captain Kent has. And
Okay.
yes, he talked to her. I don't know if it was by phone or by email.
Okay, I'm getting my Captain Kent is the
That's
it's
the
current.
captain.
Okay. So when was the last time you got a status report from Austin?
I spoke to Mrs. Hall in the city manager's office. I want to think maybe a month ago, maybe less, a little less, a little over, whichever it is. But I would say approximately a month. And she provided me with some information, which I had instructed Captain Kent to look over and send to the Attorney General's office. And I believe that Mrs. Hall also said she was sending that same information over to them. And he came back and he told me that they were going to review it and that we would have hopefully an update within 2 weeks, which didn't happen. So that's where this is coming, that we could talk and set up something with them to speak to them, which they made as the 24th.
So, sir, what you're really telling me, you've never talked to anyone in Austin, have you, sir?
Because it's been emails, and I'm trying to say, I don't think I have directly spoke to her person to person.
Okay. So by email or whatever, what was the latest status you got? Wait, well, let's back up. So December they got it, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. They've had it for 9 months, sir. What are they telling you is going on?
And that's what I'm going to find out on Wednesday, sir.
Sir, why are you waiting 9 months and getting a lawyer involved and filing a lawsuit and getting deposed to finally do something to find out what in the hell they're doing for 9 months with Mrs. Hall's sister files? So I'll withdraw that question, but let me just understand, as
Okay.
you sit here this afternoon in the Aransas Pass Police Department offices with your chief of police badge on, you don't have any clue what Austin has done or not done for 9 months with Ruby's sister's case. Isn't that true, sir?
No, sir. 6
Okay.
months. I've been here for 6 months.
Okay. They've had it for 9 months. You could have, just because you've only been here for 6 months doesn't mean you can't go back 3 months and have, as you sit here today, sir, you knew this was coming out, have found out what they've done or not done for the entire 9 months. So again, I will ask you the question, sir. Isn't it true that as you sit here this afternoon in the Aransas Pass Police Department offices with your chief of police badge on, you have no clue what Austin has done or not done in the last 9 months that they've had this file, correct?
I can tell you that they told me that they're reviewing.
Oh my gosh. Who told you that and when?
That was Mindy, and it was by email.
By what?
By an email. And I'm not sure if that was an email to me or if it was to Captain Kent, but I did see that.
How long would you expect it take to review a file, sir? Do the wheels of justice really move that slow that 9 months after receiving a file, no one has yet reviewed it?
I can't tell you what their caseload is up there, sir.
Okay. Well, did somebody check that out before you willy-nilly just sent it up there?
That again was before I was here, so I do not know what all they did on who they talked to and spoke to. I just know that the case was given to the Attorney General's office.
Did anyone put any parameters on it like, hey, you've got 9 months to either get it resolved, or how about you have 9 months just to review the damn thing? Did anyone put any parameters, guidelines on them whatsoever?
I just answered it, not that I know of.
Okay. Can you check into that on Wednesday and give us a report back?
That's what I plan on doing, sir.
Okay. Would you agree with me that that's maybe 9 or 6 months too late? But thank you for that.
But what? Thank you for that.
We're finally getting around to asking questions like, what in the hell are y'all doing up there? Or what's your caseload like? Or when do you reasonably think you can really get to this? Are we wasting more of Ruby's time and maybe the taxpayers' money by having this file rot up there? It can rot down in Aransas Pass.
I can sure ask them.
Thank you, sir. Have you seen the actual physical file?
No, sir, I have not.
Can you describe it? Where is it?
Captain Kent must have it.
Are you serious?
What are you saying by serious? I just answered the question. That's what I said.
Okay. What does Austin have?
They have copies of it.
Of the entire file?
As far as I know, yes, sir.
Okay. I'm just trying, Epi and I have to review files all the time. And yes, it's, depends on the number of documents, but I'm pretty sure, because I know what kind of lawyer he is, he's never taken 9 months to review a file. That would be one hellaciously big file. How many pages are we talking about?
I have not seen it, sir. I do not know.
You have no idea what this file
I have
consists
no
of?
idea how big the file is.
I mean, in your wildest imaginations, how big could it be? An inch? 2 inches?
I couldn't tell you, sir.
Well, sir, how many years have you been doing this?
I'm sorry?
How many years have you been doing this?
36 years, 37 years.
All right. Based on your 37 years experience, just take your best guess as how long this frigid, frozen file, how big could it be?
I couldn't tell you, sir.
Okay. If we take a break, can you go look at that file? Maybe can we take a break and you just go photograph? Is it in a expandable folder? Is it in one manila folder? Can you take a break and just go take a photograph of it and text it to us?
The entire file, Steve, or what?
Well, I don't know. I don't have a clue. Epi, let me just ask you: have you seen it? I mean, is it Is it in big boxes? Is it, what is it?
Yeah, I haven't seen it myself,
Okay.
but let's do this. If you want to, we can take a break and go look at it and see how many pages of what we're talking about. If
Okay.
I don't even know the detectives here that handles that,
Well,
but
don't they keep it
as far as
someplace safe?
but yeah, as far as
Okay.
forwarding the documents over to you, we'd have to check with Wendy over in the Attorney General's office.
No, and I'm not even requesting that now. I'm just asking, yeah, go check, see how many pages. But while you're at it, can you just take a cell phone and just snap a picture? Don't show any, any of the innards. But I'm trying to. Are we talking about an accordion file folder? Do you have boxes and boxes of documents and evidence? Can you just take a quick picture of what we're talking about?
Sure. Let me see if we can facilitate that. Let's take a
Thank you,
quick
sir. Thank you.
I need a break anyway.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, we're off the record at 2:51.
Hey, Steve, just
We're back on the record at 3:32 p.m.
Okay, thank you for taking that break, Chief. And just so, were you with your wonderful lawyer when y'all went to quote unquote review the file?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so and again, I'm a dinosaur, so I'm sure what I'm saying makes zero sense in today's modern times. But so y'all didn't actually see a physical file; you just saw some kind of computer printout or asked the head investigator how many files, and he said something about 9,000 or something. Is that kind of correct?
Yes, sir. It's a digital file for the case file, and it has it's broke down and there's like 9,000 files, and I forgot what the gigabytes were.
Okay.
50,000 gigabytes. Something like that.
Okay. Is there some type of are those 9,000 or whatever they are and all these gigabytes, are they organized in some kind of fashion? Is there an index, a table of contents? If you wanted to get something specifically, how in the world would you go about doing that with 9,000 files?
You would have to ask the lead investigator on this. I'm sure that he can find it by going straight into what you're looking for.
Okay, but if it's not the lead investigator, well, just standard police work. I mean, do y'all, when you put something in a file, do you index it? Do you log it?
They'll have a title on each one of those folders. And we have an example would be one folder. It says 89-395-4 ruling Roberson. There's another one, call with a certain individual, an interview with a certain individual, a certain person's statement, Roberson referral, supplement case, ruling 89.395.25 OR 2025, supplement report, timeline, and that's just giving you a couple. I can see where it has a folder for canine search, a folder for Roberson cold case number 1, Roberson cold case number 2, Roberson original investigation.
Okay. What are you reading from there? And I appreciate it, Chief. What are you reading from?
I'm reading from a picture that the attorney took of the computer screen that the lead investigator was showing.
Okay. Let me ask you guys. Would y'all consider producing this, just a list of the files, not the substantive documents within a file, but just a list of the files so we could have an idea what's there, what's not there, what's been done? Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. I don't see any problems with that.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Okay, that would be a huge blessing. Okay, let me keep going a little bit. Let me ask you this, Chief. Chief Blanchard, in let me find it. Sorry. In a letter to Dear Miss Hall, family and all concerned, dated Monday, December 30, 2024. Epi, I don't know if you have a copy, or Chief, you've seen this. It's from Chief Blanchard. And uh, and then it's a copy to APPPD Command, Aransas Pass Police Department Command. Chief, do you have any idea of the correspondence I'm talking about?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay, I'm just going to, FBI could photo text it, but let me just read. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. Let me just read the last paragraph. And again, this is addressed, Dear Mrs. Hall, family and all concerned. The last paragraph from Chief Blanchard states, lastly, as planned, once those okay, let's say, I'm sorry. Lastly, as planned, once those investigations have concluded, and he's talking about the cold case investigation being maybe performed by a Texas Ranger in the Office of the AG's Cold Case Division. Lastly, as planned, once those investigations have concluded, and if we cannot reach a concrete resolution, I intend to release the entire case file to the public. However, I will not be here when that happens, so I hope my successor will consider this position. And guess who his successor is?
Me, sir?
All right, and you may be getting hit with this, speaking of cold, but let me ask you, sir, maybe even go further than Eric, Chief Blanchard went, but um, would you, as he said, Hope, would you consider, once these investigations have concluded, releasing the entire case file to the public?
I would consider that.
Okay, can I get a little stronger commitment? Maybe that you would likely allow that to happen?
I think his concern with Steve with that is that it, Chief Perkins is one of the most reasonable guys that you can deal with.
Okay,
And I have no doubt that he would honor his word, but his main concern is, before I do that, I just want to make sure he wants to make sure that he's not going to subject himself to any type of issues with the DA, or whatever. He just wants to be super careful with that, and I don't blame him. I mean, it's a very sensitive matter, but again, like I say, he's the most reasonable individual. That, I mean, if he says he'll consider it, and he and I will work on it together. And
okay, I appreciate that, and I know that about both of y'all, but I wonder what it was, and or what Chief Blanchard had done to make him comfortable in making that statement, that once those investigations have concluded, if we can not reach a concrete resolution, I intend to release the entire case file to the public. I wonder why he was so. I get your hesitation, Chief, but it has been 36 years. I wonder why he was so confident and so bold to be able to make that. I mean, that's just a flat out statement. He doesn't say, oh, I'm worried about liability. He doesn't say, I need to run it by the DA. I wonder why he was so
I,
comfortable and confident in pledging that. Chief, do you have any different take?
I don't know why he would say that unless there's something that he has spoke to the DA's office. I can't tell you what Chief Blanchard did, and maybe that's something, if and when you depose him, you'll get those answers.
Right.
All I can say is that I want to make sure that I am doing everything that I need to do to make sure that this case, if it can be solved, that we don't lose it based on releasing information that we normally maybe not should have done. That's the whole reason about wanting to talk to the DA. And I know it's been 36 years. I understand and I feel her frustration, and I'm not trying to frustrate anybody in here. I just got to make sure that we are following what we need to follow through with.
There was a case in Corpus a couple of years, well, last year or so, where this guy had sat in prison for so many, I think 5 years or so, and he picked up this girl and dismembered. I don't know if you kept up with that Brianna Wood case. Dismembered this poor girl and stuck her in a 5-gallon barrel and took her out of 624, and somehow through a tip they were able to discover the body, and they arrested the guy based on the information they had. They had a strong case, but what happened is that the DA allowed family members to come take that file home, and they kept it for months. And the guy got a sharp attorney, and here you go. I mean, he ended up doing, when he was looking at capital, I think that he ended up taking a deal on something else that he had for robberies, and he did some prison time, but certainly not a life sentence that he was looking at. But based on the fact that they released those files to the family members, there were some contamination issues that sharp defense lawyer was able to play out, and that's just what we don't want to deal with here. But again, 36 years. I agree. I agree with you, Steve, and I agree with the chief that after 36 years, the family deserves answers, and we're here to try to help. It's just that the chief and I don't want to get ourselves into a pickle over this thing.
Okay, so let me understand. I'm hearing from you, Chief, that your position is it's okay with Aransas Police Department, me, spokesperson, chief of police, to release these files. I won't go to the public. We have asked for much less than that. The only thing we've really asked for is someone of our choosing that has criminal investigation knowledge, maybe cold case knowledge, under even a confidential agreement or non-disclosure or something, to be Ruby's eyes and ears. So we're not asking for the public or even to be released. It'd be nice necessarily to Ruby. So let's keep that in mind. And so when you balance, like you said, Epi, repeatedly, and I appreciate it, Lord knows I can't imagine what the last 36 years have been like. But keep in mind, when you balance 36 years versus the very, very little that we have requested under proper safeguards, it just doesn't tip in y'all's favor whatsoever. It quite frankly stinks in your favor. But be that as it may, enough speech making. Just it is important to keep in mind what we're asking. But what I was saying is, it kind of sounds to me like, Chief, you would be okay in releasing to one degree or the other that I've just mentioned, if the district attorney is okay with it. Is that what I'm hearing from you?
Yes, sir. I would like to see what the district attorney would have to say, and I would also like to at least see where the attorney general's at. And once I find out where they're at, and I'm able to speak to the district attorney's office, and if they're okay with an independent investigator coming in, I've got no problem with that. I've never had a problem with that, as long as I can follow these little things that I want to do to make sure that I'm safeguarding a possible. And this is kind of what I'm looking at, sir. Is let's say we do give this to Mrs. Hall, so she can do her independent, and then they discover something and it leads to an arrest. I want to make sure that the DA's office is not going to say, well, that came from a third party. We're not going to take that. That is the biggest thing. Is if we're going to be able to, get a conviction or get an arrest and conviction on someone, we got to make sure that the DA is on board with it as well.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I'm looking at.
Okay. So you're okay if the DA is okay, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's talk about this. I don't, I deal with cases that the police department is involved, and I will tell you what you've just told me is the absolute party line of every police officer, every chief of police, every police department that I come across. So, well, we are afraid that we will taint or lose the integrity of our investigation, like you're suggesting. Some criminal can go free. And I'll be honest with you, I don't buy that, not whatsoever. It's an easy line of defense. You guys fall on it. You lay on it. You rest on it. And quite frankly, it makes. I get the Brianna Woods scenario, but we're not. There's ways to get around the Brianna Woods scenario. For example, isn't there an argument that if we turn the knowledge y'all have over to the public, it could very damn well not only help, but maybe solve these things. Someone sees something and it triggers a memory, or God, I think I knew that person or whatever. Would you agree with me that there's an at least equal argument that turning these materials over to the public and asking the public to get involved could be equally as beneficial, just as beneficial as you allege it could be detrimental? You agree with that, don't you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and police departments call on the public to help, and they release information, sometimes lots of information for
They don't
just
release all of it, though.
the what?
They don't release all of it.
Well, that's what you say, but you haven't released anything.
Mr. Dorgar is showing the 120 pages, though, that he received.
It's so redacted. You go read those 120 pages and then interpret for me. Can you do that for me? It's so redacted.
I understand what you're saying, but you said we have not given her anything, and I'm looking where it says 120 pages were given. I mean, whether it was redacted or not, you're saying that
whoa,
we did.
Sir, you're telling me there's not a difference between redacted documents and clean documents?
I'm saying you're saying that nothing was given and
nothing meaningful. It's a bunch of gibberish.
Okay, if you're saying it that way, I can go with that.
All right, and in fact, why haven't y'all gone to the public at best I know, correct me if I'm wrong, I hope I'm wrong, at all with this case over 36 years?
And I think I'm under the same thing that you are is I don't know. I can't tell you what they did, and again, that's where it would be deposing those individuals involved at that point. All I can tell you is the last 6 months we have not.
Okay, so tell me this, sir. I'm just trying to for this case and every case I have where it would be very helpful to have some eyes on what the investigators have. Tell me how it is, especially after 36 years, but how it is that the release of this information could not the Brianna Woods, but otherwise harm this investigation. Can you help me with this? Here's your party line. Is accepted the statute states that information held by a law enforcement agency or prosecutor that deals with the detention, investigation, or prosecution of crime is accepted from required public disclosure if, quote, release of the information would interfere with the detention, investigation, or prosecution of a crime, close quotes. You've used that line before, haven't you, sir?
On releasing
Refuse.
information
Yeah.
because of that interfering? Is that what you're saying?
No, that is, and if it's not yours, God bless you. But that is always the response I get from either the AG or the police department. In fact, this was from y'all. This is what y'all requested the Attorney General to find. But it's your standard language that, oh, if we release this information, it will interfere with the detention, investigation, or prosecution of crime. Help me. I'm being sincere. Tell me how that would work after 36 years. What could y'all just hypothetically release that after 36 years would interfere with the detention, investigation, or prosecution of a crime related to Ruby's sister's disappearance? How in the hell could that happen? Give me the wildest scenario you can dream up.
If the release of certain information would that only a suspect or the person who committed the crime would know, then of course you wouldn't want to open it up and throw it out to the public. You just asked for the wildest, so I'm giving that you don't want a portion of an investigation to be released that and in law enforcement, and I'm hoping you understand this in law enforcement.
Yeah, I watch CSI and Law and Order. I get that, but I've not seen an
episode. CSI and Law and Order, though.
I've not seen an episode where it's 36 years after the fact, and can we agree that really doesn't have too much relevancy to this situation 36 years after the fact?
No, sir, I'm not going to agree with you on that because there could be something in this case file that if released, that if we come up with having a suspect and we bring the suspect in, you need to have something in that area that suspect, only the suspect would know.
Okay, well, why don't you withhold that one thing? Why don't you redact that? That's fine. Memo to file. We don't want to release this. Maybe you did it 34, 33 years ago. We don't release this information. This is the information that is going to catch and trigger the suspect. But other than that, what's the deal with the rest of the information?
I mean, I don't see anything if what we're looking at, and I think that this would be the catch to it, counselor, is that if I only release certain points, then at what point are you going to say, well, you didn't give us all of it, so now we want all of it? It's a catch-22 on that. We don't want to help, and then when
the slippery slope argument, because I don't have a right to any of it. So you can stop the slipperiness whenever you want. I don't have control over that.
But then we'll be right back into the same situation that we're in today, sir. If I don't release what y'all are wanting me to release, and I don't know what you're wanting me to release. As far as I know, it's just certain. I mean, if you would tell me, well, we want this release, this release, then I can look at it and I can say, you know what? I'm good with that being released. I'm good with that being released. I'm good with that. But that's not what you're doing, counselor. You're saying I want everything.
After 36 years, I think she's entitled to everything. And if we don't get this resolved, we have a trial setting. I'm asking for a jury, and we'll let a jury decide whether or not you're being reasonable after 36 years. But why don't you get us that that list of the files in the next day or so, and we will start going through them. Maybe we can limit it somewhat. But here's the real problem with this defense. Well, what if they're, what if the suspect who did it, what if he finds out about it, blah, blah. Guess what, Chief? I know you've never even seen the file. You have no suspects. After 36 years, you have no, zero, nada, nadia suspects. So tell me what the harm is, sir, when there aren't even any friggin' suspects.
And I don't know that answer for you, and that's why I'm saying maybe after you depose the people who actually have a working knowledge of this case, that you may get those answers you're looking for.
Okay, well, and that's not bad advice, but I want some commitments from you, and at least I've
I
got.
think I have given you a commitment that I would consider this, sir.
You would what?
I would consider this. And that was something that we've already discussed, that I would consider releasing information with the family. I just want to be able to talk to the DA first. That's not something that I have backed off from. I mean, I don't have an issue with providing information. I just would like to talk to them first. I'm not Chief Blanchard. I can't tell you what Chief Blanchard said, that he would definitely release something. I'm not him. I don't know what he said.
I get that. There's just also some frustration. I've known you've only been on board for 6 months, but I bet within that 6 months there was time to set an appointment with a district attorney so you can find out what his position is. Is he that busy? Is he that hard to get in front of?
I wouldn't be able to tell you how busy he is. It's just like any other position. I mean, if I were to call you, I may not get you in a day or two. I can't tell you with that, sir.
I wouldn't have any clients if I didn't get back with you in a day or two. All right, so commitment, you consider this commitment. You're going to have the Zoom meeting on Wednesday. We can talk about what's going on in Austin after that. Can we have a commitment in the next week that you will reach out to the DA and try to set an appointment with him?
Yes.
Okay, I appreciate that. And we have a commitment, you'll send us over the list of the files by Thursday?
I don't think I ever said I was going to release the files to y'all, sir.
No, the list, the labels on them.
Okay. Yes, sir. We can have that for you.
Yes, okay. I didn't mean to trick you up. Okay, well, this is progress. I appreciate it. Let me just look at my notes real quick. Have you ever been debriefed or talked to Chief Blanchard about this file?
No, sir, I have not.
Okay. Give me a second. Hey, Effie, can I ask Ruby to give me a couple names real quick so we can wrap this thing up? Is that okay?
Sure.
Effie, what were the two previous detectives / investigators on this file? Was one of the ones that you told me about, is that the one that's retired?
Yeah, Kyle Rhodes was the initial one. Captain Kyle Rhodes.
Okay. And Ruby, which two were you telling me about? What are their names again?
Those were the original detectives, Mike and Linda Thompson. Linda Thompson was the lieutenant over the juvenile division of the Aransas Pass Police Department in 1989. And Mike Thompson, her husband, he was captain of the CID division in 1989. So they were the original detectives in the case. Kyle Rhodes, I just know that my connection with him started in 2016.
Okay. Epi, for you guys to consider, would it be easier if the requested or appointed eyes and ears, if you will, for Ruby was a former law enforcement agency or officer, so they kind of knew the ropes and the protocol? For example, either and or Mike and Linda Thompson, would you guys consider them their your own flesh and blood as possible eyes and ears for Ruby? Does that make sense?
I mean, I, I think they left in good terms, so I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Okay, all right.
But
Well,
eyes and ears, I think the chief's looking at me like, okay, what does that entail?
well,
So
I mean, we can flesh these out, and but for example, I think we're making good progress. I feel like that. For example, the Zoom meeting with Austin. Have one of them or on board is so Ruby's not on board and they can be the decoder or decipherer. They can then report to Ruby in a careful, protected way. Ruby, they're doing this and this, and they made this progress, and y'all can be assured, I would think, that they know what's um, what a suspect you might want to withhold from a suspect, and for that, then fine, withhold it from Ruby. But just kind of, hey, this is going on. Just feel like they have a part of this and raise their hand at a meeting and say, hey, back when, we consider this, whatever happened to that, or even fresher. Yeah, y'all might want to consider this. I mean, something like that. Does that make some sense?
I would think that they wouldn't want those two in there if they're part of this original investigation. If you're looking for something independent, that's not independent. They're part of this investigation from the beginning. Y'all are
So
saying
I'll-
you're putting the independent investigator.
Yeah, well, look, I'm just trying to look at
No,
resolutions or.
I understand. It just boggled me that we're going through this and they're part of what we went through, and that's
Okay.
why it would just kind of boggle me.
Oh,
I mean,
well, no, I'm looking for someone. Epi's kind of said it. I think I'll talk to Ruby about it. I think Ruby trusts them. Okay, that's huge. I think the police department, Epi kind of mentioned it, they left in good standing. I think y'all would trust them. So I'm looking for somebody, I'm being creative, sir, somebody that there is mutual trust between, and they seem to me maybe to perfectly fit that. Doesn't that make some sense?
I mean, definitely, I have no problem with it.
Okay.
But let me, again, I'm not the lead investigator. Let me run it by Mindy, and because we do have a meeting with her. But
Okay.
I don't have an issue, and if she says cool, then we'll go forward. They can be on
Okay.
it.
And help me. Why does Mindy get to make these decisions? Have y'all abdicated your control over your file?
Definitely, I mean, because they're now the lead investigators in this, and you know, they got more resources than we do. I mean, and I'm anxious to find out exactly how much have they actually done in these last 9 months. So I'm looking forward to that conversation and being part of that myself. But as far as resources, I mean, they got a lot better resources than we do. Um, and who knows, maybe they might say, you know what? I mean, we looked at it and yeah, you guys want it, we'll give it back to you. And at that point, hey, we're here and all we need is get through that hurdle with the DA. And I'm sure there might not be an issue there. And this case is resolved.
Okay. Hey, while you're talking to Mindy, I did try to reach out to her to get some deposition dates. Epi, can you try to get some deposition dates from her?
I talked to her about it, Steve, and what she says that being that she's lead counsel on this thing, she talked to her I guess firm attorneys over there, and they told her not to make herself available. So that's why she didn't participate in the deposition.
Okay, well, will you do me a favor? Can I get you a notice? And would you file a motion to quash it so we can bring it to the attention of the judge?
Sure.
Okay, that'd be great. Okay, let me look real quick. Hey, let me ask you guys this. Understand about the quote unquote files a little bit more, and thanks for elaborating on that. Is there any hard physical evidence? Like I had a case, cold case, and I went, I filed similar motion, and we went from the judge, and he ordered it all to be turned over, only to find out, for example, like your box is being eaten by rodents. The instrument of death in that other case was a hammer, and of course that police department, which was certainly not yours, Chief. Yeah, Ruby, do you remember what police department that was? I don't have it in front of me. Oh, no, I'm sorry, CCPD.
Corpus
Yeah,
Christi.
Corpus. And they had lost the damn hammer and all the physical evidence, which would have likely fingerprints on it. I'm not saying it's analogous, but I'm just asking, do you have any physical evidence, anything that was gathered up, clothes, jewelry, casts of footprints, whatever? Is there any physical evidence remaining today?
To be honest with you, Steve, I don't know myself, and Chief Perkins told me he doesn't know.
Okay.
Whether
Can you
any,
also ask about that, Epi?
Yeah, we'll find out.
Okay. Hold on real quick. Real quick. And Epi, can you guys get a feel for how much was destroyed by those dirty rats?
Yeah, we'll figure it out whether how much of that file box was left or what.
All right,
Okay.
I'm almost done. Almost done. Hang tight with me.
I,
Ruby, I think this is a time, kind of a good place to pause. Let them go get some more information, have the Zoom meeting, blah, blah, blah. Do you have anything super pressing that you think you want to have me ask now? And then don't tell me, but if so, let's take a 1 minute break and call me real quick, because otherwise I think we've done enough today.
okay.
And knowing that we're going to have others and more knowledgeable than the chief, and rightfully so, in anything that you think we should ask the chief today, and if so, I'll tell you what. Let's take a 5 minute break. I think we may be done. Sarah, did you hear that? 5 minutes, and then hopefully I'm either done or almost done. Is that okay?
Yes,
All
sir.
right,
Okay.
we're off the record at 4:11 p.m.
Thanks, everybody.
Sir.
It's
Okay.
4:17 and we're back on the record.
Okay, and just briefly, so we are going to conclude the deposition at this point in time. Appreciation to Epi and Chief Perkins, and we look forward to a continuing dialogue. Everyone have a great evening. Sarah, when you get a chance, can you send Epi a copy of this?
Yes.
Okay. We're done. We're done. Epi,
All right.
anything you want to add?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. Carry on.
Anything you want to add, or we can shut
Oh,
it down?
no, I'm fine. We'll work on that running list of
Hold on. We're off the record at 4:18.